Play something. Somebody play something.
Oh, shit show! It's a good show. It's a great show. It's a shit show. Pick a Rick show. Not a Jerry show. Scary Terry show. Lick my balls show. Szechuan sauce show. It's the fucking Rick and Morty fan show, bitch.
Woo! All right, guys, we're in. It's another edition of the Rick and Morty fan show, guys. Whoop! And I got a brand new studio going on behind me, so I hope you guys like it very much. Whoop. Let's get the camera down there so you can see my muscular shoulders. I'm just joking. Guys, we got a new episode. We got season 5. We finally got season 5. So excited. And this is going to be my immediate reaction video. I am going to review the show again on Tuesday after I've watched it 4, 5, 10, 20, 30 times. Probably twice a day for the next fucking week, month. I know you guys are as crazy about Rick and Morty as I am, or otherwise you wouldn't be here. I hope everybody was able to watch the episode. I know there are some people who, check this out thinking that it might be streamed on YouTube. Very hard to find a stream on YouTube. But this is where we're going to review the show. Before I get into the show, I will very briefly plug a bunch of shit. Tomorrow at 9 o'clock, I am posting my interview with Abed Gaith, which is it's part 2. I did post my previous interview, which was really cool. We talked about his new comic. This one is all about interdimensional cable. It's all about the writer's room. He has a hilarious story about Andy Dick. Does a very good Andy Dick impression with Abed Gaith, one of the writers from Interdimensional Cable 1 and 2. So that drops tomorrow. And on Tuesday, we're having the big season 5 giveaway. I'm going to give away a bunch of shit. So, guys, if you're new, and I know there's a lot of people new because I can see there's a good crowd in here tonight, subscribe to Fandom Empire, or put the notifications on, like, share, comment, whatever you can do. I appreciate it. Also, if you haven't been on a show like this before, you're in the live chat. You can chat, say whatever you want. I will read chats that come up here. I'll read stuff on here. But if you want to get your message across and you want it on there, like I need to read it, you want to hear it on the show, you got to send in a super chat. You send in a super chat, I will definitely read it. And that's how our shows go. So yeah, we got show tonight. Video dropping tomorrow and show on Tuesday. Now, getting into this episode, this episode, I wrote down a whole bunch of things, but it blew my mind with how many things were not what I thought they were going to be. We got 3 separate stories, which is, I think, a first for Rick and Morty. There might be 1 or 2, but it's not normally an A, a B, and a C story. It's normally an A and a B story. But today we got Rick's meeting with Mr. Nimbus. We got Morty's episode arc with Jessica and those dog people. And that was really interesting, very in-depth, cool gag, kind of comparable to the Solar Opposites sidebar with all the mini people. Although I don't expect it to continue beyond the episode at all. How could it? And then we got Jerry and Beth trying to have a 3-way with Mr. Nimbus. I guess that involves Mr. Nimbus, and that's kind of the same sort of thing. But I PVR'd it, and I'm going to watch it 100 times. But I'm sorry. If I can find a way, then I will send out a way. But you can't, you can't. You got to PVR it. You got to get it. I know on Amazon Prime you could have got it. Sling TV. There's a few things you can purchase where you just get Adult Swim, and you don't have to pay for a whole cable package. That's all I've found so far that you can get this on. So, anyways, diving into the episode, guys. Let me I'm going to make note of a few people that have come in here. All right, we got Fat Pat in here. We got Conroy Coke in here. Jody's in here. LR's in here. Aura Echo YT. That's a new one. Hassan's in here. My brother is in here. One of my brothers is in here. Get Moosey is in here. Solo's in here. Justin F is in here. And Alan. And Lance, of course, Lance. Who else would be here? How many times will I watch it before Tuesday? I'll watch it a fucking ton of times, Lance. All right, so we get all of those episodes. One of the things that I was wondering first was, how is Mr. Nimbus going to compare to Rick's other nemesis or nemesis? So Rick went back and forth with the devil in season 1. He went back and forth with Zeep Zanflorp in season 2. He fought a god who over his weird cookie-looking children from fucking a planet, and he's had a few other nemesis during the show. But my question that I wrote out for the show was, how is this going to compare? Like, how are we going to get an interaction between them that's the same? And it wasn't at all. It was just him having dinner. It was actually a pretty interesting arc. I loved Mr. Nimbus. I thought he was fucking hilarious. Like, just watching the characters' movements were hilarious. One of the things I laughed at the most was when Mr. Nimbus came in and saved them at the end. You could finally see the back part of his little trunks, and he has a hole cut in the back. It looked like he had a hole cut in the back of his shorts. One only knows what that could be for with Mr. Nimbus. So that was that made just that little tiny that little bit made me laugh. The voice, I believe, is Dan Harmon, but he did the voice differently this time. Like, it wasn't the same. I thought when we saw the preview and we saw Mr. Nimbus, he's more like Mr. Nimbus. He's more like animated and kind of silly. He had a different voice than I expected. That's all I can say. One of my favorite parts, actually, one of the parts I laughed at the most was the him controlling the cops angle, and him making the cops have sex and making the cops, do whatever he wanted to. He controls the cops. So Aquaman controls fish, and Mr. Nimbus also controls the cops, which is, I don't know, kind of funny. There was a lot of good... there was a lot of political jokes in this. I mean, when Jerry called the police, he said, we're white, but, I don't see that makes a difference. And then the cops showed up right away. So that was a political joke in there. We got some pretty funny, we got a whole bunch of funny sexual references. But I think the thing that is going to be most remembered about this episode is the Morty arc. The Jerry and Beth thing was funny. I laughed. The we watch porn together thing was pretty funny. The ending I thought was one of the funniest parts of the entire episode. The whole thing about Mr. Nimbus letting them in, because it looked like they were like, okay, well, they're going to run away and Mr. Nimbus is not going to, but no, he gets them in, and the implied thing is that they had the threesome, and I don't think we'll even find out what happened there, because, Rick and Morty mostly mostly episodic. Like, I don't know. The other thing about being episodic that was hilarious was we got Mr. Nimbus talking to Rick and bringing up that they used to be friends and, what used to happen. They have a past. And then he brings up Rick's wife and he's like, don't you try to get into a backstory with me. Don't you try to give. So basically that was a tease to us. Dan Harmon and company are really, I think every time they can say, like, we don't fucking answer to you guys, the fans, they do it. And that's definitely what that was. Like, everybody wants to know the backstory. Everybody wants to fucking see Evil Morty again, and it will happen. I'm sure it will happen. But, like, on their own time. We're telling whatever fucking story we want is what they always want to get the point across. And then even funnier was the whole idea that they used to be friends and things like that, and it was gonna come to a part where maybe they were friends. Maybe they were friends in the end. And then, of course, Summer came up and fucked up the premiere. This, like we always, I think she's gonna fuck up the premiere every season. I think that might be a thing that just happens. But it was totally funny. Yeah, exactly. Mr. Matt Conway in with a super chat for $2.99. Thank you very much. It says Summer ruined season 5 premiere. Yes, she fucked it up. Season 5. The season 5 premiere. Fucked it up. That was a good gag. It made me laugh. Actually, towards the end of the episode, I laughed a little bit more. Gotta say, though, like, don't you try to establish canonical history with me. There you go. That was perfect. Yeah, that's the line. Thank you, Thaden. Yeah, that was a good line, and that made me laugh towards the end, and the after credits made me laugh more. So that definitely, like, business definitely picked up at the end. But I think they used a lot of the space they had to make this interesting Morty arc, which was hilarious. I predicted that Morty would get his own, that remote would be his. So let's see where that goes. But the reason why I predicted that would be his and that it would keep it is that it looked it was going to be in 3 different episodes. It looked like it was going to be in the episode with the dogs, the episode with Mr. Nimbus, and the episode with the robots, with the cyberpunk birds. But those were all the same episode. So now we're like, oh, what the fuck? Like, now we don't, like, how many episodes do we know about? I thought we knew about a lot of episodes, but now they've already taken away 3 of our arcs that we've seen in the trailers. So we might not know as much as we think we do, which means there might be room still for interdimensional cable. So that's exciting as well. What you don't know is exciting too. So it was nice. I love the trailers. The trailers were so good, but what we don't know is going to be exciting too. So sorry, talking a mile a minute definitely takes a little bit out of me. Luca was just the part I was going to talk about. Luca Megarine. Nintendo 69 was fucking hilarious. They fit in interdimensional cable in there for a little bit. They watched it, and Morty was obviously like, what the fuck? And turned it off. But, like, I don't know. That's clearly a Justin Roiland gag for them to turn on the TV and for it to be porn and for it to be him fucking in Nintendo 69. And for them to mention the same gag again later was funny. Like, for Rick to be like, I fuck Nintendo 69s all the time. That was good. That might have been the best gag of the show. Nintendo 69 was pretty fucking awesome. Really enjoyed that. We got. Whoop. Huh. All right. Yeah. Let me see what I wrote down in the notes here. So, where are we going to rank this in the season premieres? On my last show, I ranked the season premieres. Yeah, Nintendo 69 was good. I love having this feature where we can put things on the bottom there. That's amazing. We just switched to StreamYards lately, and it's fucking awesome. I think it was a good choice. So we got Rickle in Time, which is where I have the lowest one. Boo me for having Rickle in Time as my lowest premiere. That would be the season 2 premiere. Then the pilot. Then we have the season 4 opener, and then the season 3 opener is my favorite so far, which is where he, has to take shit over and over again, keeps taking over other Mortys, collapses the government. That was my favorite opener. This one, I don't think is going to be in the realm of that when it's all said and done. I've watched it 100 times, and who knows? On Tuesday, after I've watched it 5 times, it might be. But I think it's going to be closer to second or third place with the season 4. I think I like it better than the pilot, but I've always said the pilot is really underrated. So that was, fucking hilarious. I really enjoyed that episode. So I loved where Rick at the very start said, "No one fucking cares about your goddamn dick, Morty." Like, that was hilarious. I laughed at that. Good part. I loved the ocean horn that Mr. Nimbus came in with. It was like it was a weird sound. Everything about Mr. Nimbus was kind of what I thought it was going to be. But I thought that seeing them fight in the garage, I thought that was going to happen more. Yeah, Ruby. That callback to the Atlantis episode was hilarious. I love that. I got that fucking mermaid puss. Like, I thought that I was making comments about that all week just because people were saying, things about Mr. Nimbus coming from the sea, and it's easy to see that. But I didn't think they were going to join that. I didn't call that at all. That was fucking hilarious. I thought it was interesting how Morty. It was kind of like a butterfly effect type of arc for him to go back, and all he's doing is trying to get some wine, and he doesn't do anything in the beginning to cause this problem. But of course, the guy who gets stabbed couldn't, he couldn't explain it exactly, and just seeing every time they went back and seeing the progression of a whole world is amazing. Like, for them to have that in their heads, that they can create a whole universe, tell a whole arc of an entire world in an episode is, something that like only Rick and Morty guys can come up with. I'm not saying they're the smartest people in the world or anything, but like that's something I can't think of another place that would do, another show that would do that, so I thought that was great. The whole global warming thing was hilarious. I thought that was funny, like, I'm going to make the earth wet. I'm going to sink the earth. And then Rick comes in, he's like, global warming's already doing that. And I thought that was a good gag. And he kept saying it. He repeated himself, Mr. Nimbus anyways. Like, I thought that was great. I laughed. It was good. And Summer on her mission at the end. I thought that Summer coming out, and I don't know what she said. I didn't catch what she said. Does anybody know what she said when she came out? Like, she was going to lick dicks or something stupid like that. Her catchphrase that nobody liked, but then was weird. But then Jerry and Beth, mentioned that they were even weirder and they watch porn together. Yeah, that made me laugh at the start. I like that. I thought it was funny that, Rick was watching his phone, watching Summer beat up the people while Mr. Nimbus was over, and they were having the deal, and Mr. Nimbus was definitely way more intrigued by this whole deal and meeting Rick again than Rick was. Rick just fucking wanted Mr. Nimbus to go away. And it was great that he ended up saving them. I know I mentioned it earlier, but for Rick to just fucking tear him apart and talk about how much he hates him the whole time. And then, and then Mr. Nimbus saves them in the end was pretty hilarious. I loved it. It was great. And he fucking, the weirdest dance, and, he got to show everybody his fucking huge bulge, and that was funny. And Summer wrecking the whole thing in the end with the whole time she was going to get this conch thing, this seashell, only to fuck it up in the end anyways, was great. So that's the recap of what I have here for the episode. I'm gonna go through the chat, guys. If you want to tell me what your favorite part was, or something I didn't talk about that you loved, let me know. Type it in the chat, and I'm gonna read off some shit. We're gonna read some stuff off. And you know what? Maybe I'll change the color of the background. Who knows? All right. LR Tunist says it was great. Rick said it in Primordius. Okay. Oh my God, so stupid. Get Moosey, did you not like it? It says, oh my God, I'm so stupid. Oh, I'm so stupid. I thought he said it was so stupid. I got a bunch of people asking me where we could watch the episode. Like, I don't know, guys. I mean, if you want to find it in a way that's not, and without buying it, you gotta, I don't know that way. I don't know how to do that. For my Rick and Morty, I have Adult Swim, I have a PVR, I buy all the seasons and stuff like that. So I don't know about that stuff. What we're going to get in the next episode is another good topic. So I loved, actually, even I loved at the start, there was a countdown. We got the joke about it being Rick and Morty and Father's Day at the same time. Perfect chance to ignore your dad on Father's Day, which sadly I have done before. Not ignored him, but I'm very forgetful. So yeah, I thought it was pretty funny, the gag, the countdown. During the commercials, we saw the space satellite, showing the Rick and Morty episode, which was hilarious. And at the end, we got what's coming up next for Rick and Morty, which is interesting. I don't think that's ever happened before. I think if it was, I watch it on PVR all the time, so I don't think that's happened before, unless it's happened in previous to season 3. But we do know we're going to get the episode where there's a whole bunch of Ricks, and they're all trying to shoot this little Mr. Poopy Butthole looking character. And now we know that they're Ricks from around the world that he had planted on Earth for some reason. He doesn't really explain it, but they're in the car there, and he basically says he's planted them throughout the world. So I'm not sure what kind of defense mechanism this is, but it's apparently for that reason. So it should be interesting to see what's happened. I had previously thought that this might be the interdimensional cable episode. I don't think that's going to happen in the second episode. It's traditionally been the 7th or 8th episode. I think maybe 8th episode every time. But it should be interesting to find out where they're going with this and why they're all hunting down. Is it just a game? Are they just supposed to be hunting them down for sport? Is there a really important reason? We know that the Rick and Morty writers could make up any stupid reason for this to happen. They could be really important, could save the universe, or it could be nothing. So, yeah. So guys, I don't have anything more to talk about the episode. I do want to once again plug what's going to happen with the channel. Tomorrow I'm giving away an interview that I did with Abed Gaith. He wrote Interdimensional Cable 1 and 2 with his brother, and also the rest of the Rick and Morty writers that were on staff. He talks a little bit about what happened in the writing room, and it was awesome. Some backstage stuff. He talks about some things that he added in and jokes that he did. He came up with the dead cat lady joke, and he came up with little bits. He talks about a lot of things that he did and how they came up with them. And it was a fantastic interview with Abed Gaith. That's releasing tomorrow at 9 a.m. Eastern. So go ahead, give that a watch. Subscribe to Fandom Empire, and you'll get all the updates for these things. On Tuesday, I'm going to be giving away half of this stuff behind me. Like, I made this nice studio, and now I'm going to be giving away a bunch of this shit. So let's see. Maybe I can even make it lighter. Whoop. Oh no, yellow. That just goes crazy. So I'll be giving away a bunch of these mystery minis. You can see them in the corners here. I'm going to be giving away packs of 6 different mystery minis. I know Solo in the chat has already won himself a Smith Family plus Mr. Poopy Butthole. Got them all right here. So we're going to be giving away a bunch of these mystery minis. We're going to be giving away some board games. We're going to be giving away some plushies. We're going to be giving away Rick and Morty toilet paper. We're going to be giving away a ton of shit, guys. So do not show me what you're going to do with that toilet paper, though. Yeah, so we're going to be giving away stuff on Tuesday. So the only way you can win that is by watching the show. It's on at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 Pacific on Tuesday. I hope you guys all enjoyed the episode. I know I did. And I will give you my extended ideas, after I've watched the episode a million times. It's really hard to do this. Oh, awesome. I hope I can win a Rick plush. That's from Get Moosey. I do have... I have Mr. Meeseeks and Morty plushies. I really want to keep that teddy bear Rick up there, but we'll see what happens. Maybe you guys can convince me by showing up and making a good big crowd. put those there. Yeah, we're going to be giving away a lot of that stuff. So get Moosey, show up on Tuesday, and all you got to do is show up. You'll be entered into a draw. I got a draw going for new people. So anyone who shows up who's a newbie at this channel, you'll be entered in. So that's exciting for you. Yeah. Oh, poor Alex. I'm sorry. You won't be able to tune on Tuesday. Alex, if you won any competitions, I don't remember if you won any of our previous competitions, but you'll be entered in anyways. So if that's happened, then you're in there anyways. I wouldn't worry about it. Matt Conway wants Teddy Bear Rick. What can Lance win? Lance, I'll send you something that's not something that you sent me. For those of you guys don't know, Lance donated most of the stuff that I'm going to be giving away. So is a regular. Yeah, good. Exactly, Thaden. I'm not broadcasting Rick and Morty on here. I'm sorry. That would go against the laws of YouTube. I don't know what you want to call them. You can't just broadcast whatever the fuck you want. Anyways, guys, that's going to do it for me tonight. I'm excited that you guys came in to hang out. Like, subscribe, share, comment, and show up again. Watch my video tomorrow. Show up again on Tuesday. Win some prizes, and have yourself a good time. Peace out, guys.
Play something. Somebody play something.
It's a good show. It's a great show. It's a shit show. Pick a Rick show. Not a Jerry show. Scary Terry show. Lick my balls show. Szechuan sauce show. It's the fucking Rick and Morty fan show, bitch.